Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod with Eniola Bello. With us, she's founder at Minds Place. We're going to talk about HR as she's a strategic HR leader. We're going to talk about mental health. She's an advocate, digital transformation, innovation, and obviously tech startups. So this podcast is brought to you by podpire.com. If you want to start or scale your podcast, you can go to podpire.com. And Yola, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
All right, thank you very much, Charles. Sure. So my name is Eniola. Thank you for the quick introduction. I'm an HR director. I'm also a mental health advocate, a practitioner as well in the mental health space, and I am also a tech product director. So I am the founder of Minds Place. It's a past platform, so that's more of a platform as a service where those who are seeking mental and behavioral wellness can find verified providers in a safe, secured, and confidential way. So part of what we wanted to build was an ecosystem where those who are seeking mental and behavioral health care services could find, let's say, self-care resources, meditation, group anonymous support system, coaching, therapy, and all sorts, right? And one of the things that informed this, my background is human resources, where I did that in the university as my undergrad, right? And then I advanced to having a master's in psychology. And one of the challenges that I saw, especially moving back to Nigeria, was that there was a huge gap in the mental health space, right? And this was in 2014. In fact, I had a personal story where I had gone to seek help for a condition that I had, and the feedback that the doctor had given me was very uncomfortable, and that was how Minds Place got bettered, right? And one of the challenges we saw go over the years was that there was a huge gap, knowledge gap, awareness gap, educational gap in the mental health space, right? And the fact that we are in the continent where mental health is seen in a different light, right? We need more persons who will intentionally find out creative ways to address these gaps, right? One of it was also those who had gone to learn about, let's say, psychology, neurology, and all these things were not practicing in that field, because one of the challenges is that we had very limited like neuropsychiatric hospitals in Nigeria. You wouldn't believe that we only have less than 10 neuropsychiatric hospitals in Nigeria, servicing a population of over 200 million, right? And very less than 100 outpatients and wellness facilities servicing that same amount of population. And we also had less than 500, and well, now over the years it has grown, so practicing practitioners in that field. So which meant that one out of 30 graduates would practice in that field if they were lucky enough to get a job in that field. So Minds Place is a platform where we will be addressing all the societal issues that surrounds mental health. And that's a brief introduction of Minds Place.
And what are your top goals this year?
Okay, so one of our top goals this year is, so in 2016, after we had fully registered Minds Place as an organization, and we started operating as a business, was that we started a movement called The Awakening, where we did a lot of awareness programs, supports group programs, where we will talk about different areas addressing mental health, right? So we used to, before the COVID struck, we used to do like a physical meetup, but now we do online meetups. So one of the things we do, and in the past, is we've gone to schools to go and share awareness, to do on-the-spot counseling. We've gone to old people's home to enlighten them about old age challenges, mental and behavioral health challenges. We've gone to organizations as well, because part of, like I said, my background is HR, also to address that in the work space. So we've gone to so many others. So now this year, one of the things we want to do is to go into it more. So our target is to have 30 organizations, to collaborate with them, to have a lot of outreaches this year, to get involved and collaborate. And one of the things we're working on, if you look at our platform, is our website, sorry, is that we're building our own tech platform, right? Where we then, it's going to be mobile and the web version, where everyone can have access to it. And one of the things that makes us stand out is the fact that we're not going to just be a platform where you only seek for therapy or counseling. We will be an only platform where all the resources you need, all the support group, all the information you need, question and answers from experts, all that can be gotten on our platform. So one of our targets, our major targets, is to get over 100,000 users within the next 3 years.
Is mental health a new topic in Nigeria, for example? Tell us about the state of mental health at work in Nigeria.
Mental health is not a new topic. However, it has not been accessible. A lot of people have not accepted the mental health as a important section of health. So holistic health, right? Like we all know, one of the challenges is for people to accept that they have psychological challenges. But over the years, I would say when I started in 2014, it's progressed than what it is now in Nigeria. There's accessibility, there's a lot of awareness now because a lot of people are going into it. And I would say also that COVID also enlightened a lot of people, especially the older generation, that were very strict on accepting mental health. A lot of them had that challenge, and now everyone is talking about it more. Everyone is sharing their story. There's more awareness around it. Even in the workplace, there was a lot of issues, a lot of organization needed to collaborate with counselors, needed to collaborate with mental health advocates to come talk to their employees about mental health. HR are intentional about putting EAP, initiating EAP programs for their employees. So there's been a positively progressive attention to acceptance to mental health in Nigeria now, and it keeps growing. Yes.
What about in founders? Because I feel, founders, they have quite a hard time with their own mental health. They are quite lonely. They don't have much to talk to or with, they're not going to tell their moms why their startup is losing 15,000 per week. Then mom won't understand because she knows nothing about business. So what about mental health and founders?
Okay, so mental health in founders, right? I hear you when you speak about giving an example about explaining to your mom. Luckily for me, I'm from a very highly entrepreneurial family. My mom is an entrepreneur, so she understands how having been a founder, it could be challenging at the early stage. But yes, so like I tell people, as a founder, you need to accept the fact that you cannot do it all, and there's a step-by-step process to everything in life in general, right? You have to take one step at a time, but it's good for you to dream big. However, there's a need to put reality in check, and the fact that even when you fail is for you to learn. What you do about the failing stage really matters to how your growth process will be. So as a founder, I my advice to any founder will be to take one day at a time, and don't put so much pressure on yourself. You tend to put so much pressure on yourself, and it seems like you're no longer human, and you want to have superpowers to just get the organization up and running. And the fact that one of the challenges for founders is funding, right? You just have to take intentional steps to ensuring that you're on the right platform, you have the right people surrounding you. And if that doesn't happen, take a step back, because it always tells on your health. I would say, see how, using myself as an example for Mindspace, I did start at 2014. I've had to change the name once. When we started, we were called Speak Your Mind. And as we progressed, we transitioned to rebranding our name to Mind's Place. So you have to take a step back, re-evaluate yourself. And as a practicing psychotherapist, I always say that you should have your support system, right? You should also have, and in the psychology world, it's always good for a therapist to also have a therapist who they talk to, because you cannot keep consuming so much information, so much people's problems, without having a channel where you could also excuse my word, dump it too, right? That is why we always need support system. So irrespective of who you are as a founder, you have to have ways in which you distress, in which you let out steam, in which you are able to channel your thoughts around, because even you would agree that there are times that you feel overwhelmed about an issue. You would think through it and say, all right, let me call this person, let me call that person. So we always need to have such ways of channeling anxiety, stress, and any feeling of overwhelmingness.
Right. And on your sides, you're building your companies nowadays. How are you dealing with all of this? What are your tricks, your tips to deal with startup hardship on a daily basis?
Yeah, what are the tricks? You just have to keep at it. Persistence is very important, right? And also, as a strategic HR person, I always say you have to make your plans. You have to write out your plans. It's always good to set out your plans. Put a timeline and always go back to it to refresh yourself. And even when you feel overwhelmed, right, and things are not working out, you need to be reminded the reason, the purpose, especially if you're doing something that you're passionate about, and you feel that that is your purpose in life, you would enjoy it. So even when you miss that mark, you have to always go back to your journal or wherever you've written your goal to say, all right, why haven't I met goal 3? What do I need to do? Who do I need to speak to? Reevaluate yourself, reassess yourself. If you have a team, like just like me, I always call my team, what are we not doing right? If we put every time when we go out to talk, we come back to say, what could we have done better? Did we have feedbacks from those who we went to speak to? So it's always good to always just plan, right? Organize yourself, reevaluate yourself, and be flexible enough to tweak things where tweaking needs to be done, right? So it's just like how you pointed out on our website, we have it there. It's a growth process, right? It is like they say, it is about the journey, not the destination. The journey, you have to enjoy the journey which you're going through, because without this journey I wouldn't be able to speak with you right now to say, oh, these are the process, this is what has helped me. And always believing in yourself that there's a reason why I'm doing this, and that reason has to be fulfilled. That's, I would say, is what pushes me every day. I have innovative ways of enhancing, doing things better, understanding from the user perspective, right? Value perspective, not the financial gain of things, but the value you want to, the change you want to make, the value you want to pass across. It makes a whole lot of difference, and it pushes you to get what you need to do at the right time.
The economics of your business, how do you make money?
We have not started making money yet, but the plan is to have the subscription based, right? Both from the user side, because like I said, you have resources, you have like your psychological testing, which I know that a lot of people do not do. But as long as we have those providers on the platform, and the need for all those testing before a diagnosis are met, right? All those will be done on the platform. And we also have sponsorship, because right now I have a line of individuals who are interested in sponsoring users to be able to use the platform for free. Well, not totally for free, like annual subscription once we are up and running. So it's a two-way play. We have subscription both from the user side, right? But it's going to be very affordable, because like I said, in as much as an organization, we're not an NGO, right? We also need to understand the segment we are. Not a lot of people can afford this. Not a lot of people have placed priority on their mental health. So we need to draw them closer to us for them to understand that mental health, psychological well-being, behavioral wellness is a key aspect of their holistic wellness, right? So yes, that's how we plan to make money. But so far, I've been bootstrapping. We're currently on the stage of sourcing for investors and sponsorship, really, and hopefully we will get once we're up and running. But we're almost at our launch. We're hoping that we would be able to launch at the end of Q2.
Are you learning from nowadays?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Who are you learning from nowadays?
I learned from different places. No one in particular. No name comes to mind, but I'm the type that likes to read a lot. And I'm sorry, but I'm not so good with names. But I read a lot. I surf through the internet to just read. Excuse me, to just read about different things that interest me, be it in the technology space, be it in the HR space, be it in the mental wellness space. I just do a lot of reading, but no one in particular at the moment that comes to mind.
Right. Any other entrepreneurs in the community that you're learning from? Any Nigerian example of founders that you learned a lot from, mentors, peers?
Yes, I do. I do. They're diverse. Just so I have some founders that I have worked with. I'm not going to call names now, so none of them comes back to say, "Oh, but you did not mention me." But yeah, I have founders that I'm currently working with in this space, right? In the AI space, because one of the things we want to do is to integrate AI to our platforms. So there's one of the founders that is currently based in the UK and also Nigerian, but their market is hugely based in the UK. We're working together on this development. I also have in the tech space. One of the reasons why I thought to transform Mindspace to not just a platform, service providing platform, but a tech platform. So I also have community like the Bella Africana community, in as much as they're more of the creative side, but the founder has wealth of knowledge as to how to support other founders in the Nigerian space and in the African space to be able to transition their product to the global audience, right? I also work with the marketing and communication experts for to help with all the communications that we put up, whether on social media or on the LinkedIn. So I have a huge network of team. I also have team in the holistic space. It's a global team where we meet up every Thursdays. So yeah, I have a huge support system and a network system which I work with.
Love it. Where can people find out more about you, Eniola?
So we have our page on LinkedIn. Our website is there, www.themindspace.com. And those who are interested in registering before the platform is up and running, you get a discount once you register. And whether you want to register as a service provider and go through the rigorous verification process, or you want to come in as a user, or you want to register as a volunteer, I will encourage people to do that, because one of the things we do is to get volunteers who can also promote this awakening stage for the masses. We are also on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Mindspace. And my name is Eniola Bello. They can always find me on LinkedIn.